Hello and good morning, class. How are you all today? Good? All right, yes. Are you guys ready to learn our lesson for today? Yes, you all should be ready. But before we get started, I just like to remind you of our classroom rules. All right. So make sure that your device, okay, you set up your device in a place where it is quiet and there is no distraction at all. The next thing is make sure that your microphone is muted all the time unless I call you and I ask you to unmute yourself. Okay. All right. If you want to speak, if you want to share your ideas, you can press the button there. All right. And then I will call your name. Okay. And I want you all to make sure to listen carefully. Make sure that you have your notebooks with you. Okay. And you attend our lesson on time. I'm still seeing some students who are attending or who are just joining now. What happened? Okay. All right. So make sure to avoid being late. Okay. So now I want to hear all from you. Are you ready to listen today? All right, let's get started. Okay. Now, the first thing that I would like us to do, okay, is I'd like you to look at the picture here, okay, the text itself, okay, and identify the features of the text and identify the type of text, okay. Now, I'll give you just 1 minute to look at it, okay, and look at the features, right? There are titles in it. There's the title. What else do we see? Okay. A subtitle. Yes. All right. The name of the author or the name of the writer and what? What else? Introduction. Yes, that's correct. And the body paragraphs. Okay. Do you think what type of text is this? Nika, what type of text is this? It's a review. All right, that's good. Yes, we consider this as a review article. Okay. Why? Right. Apparently, this is an article that talks about the iPhone 6S, the newly released iPhone 6S. So again, this is a review article about a specific product. And there's title, as you mentioned earlier, there's subtitle, there is a what, the name of the author, and etc. Okay, our topic for today is about article. Okay, all right, and our learning objectives today is that we're able to identify the different types of articles and identify features of an article. Okay, I want you all to write it down in your notebooks. Okay, our learning objectives for today all together. Read it. First is to identify different types of articles, and second is to identify features of an article. Okay, now first comes first, the word of the day. What is an article? Right? Every day we have to learn new vocabulary words. So the word of the day is article. Yes, Lara, can you please read what is an article? An article is a piece of writing about a particular subject, topic, usually intended for publication in a newspaper, magazine, or journal. It may include amusing stories, reported speech, and descriptions, right? So mainly an article, it talks about a specific subject, like what we saw earlier. It was about a review about the iPhone 6S. Okay. How do we use the word article in a sentence? Jemima, can you read the example, please? I've read a lot of articles about the history of Naples. Okay, so it means that the person read a lot of different information from articles about the history of Naples. So far, do you have any question about our word of the day? All right, now let's move on. So what are the different types of articles, right? The first one that we saw earlier was a review article. Then we also have case studies. Okay, it's a type of an information where a specific writer, a specific author also tends to investigate a specific topic, a specific issue, a specific problem in the society, for example. Okay, then we have news article. Okay, and then we have argumentative, persuasive article. Okay, and then we have about argumentative text or article. This is where a writer, okay, establish a claim about a specific topic, about a specific issue that they would like to raise their opinion, inform the public about the concerns that they have, and mainly to persuade you in believing about their beliefs and about their reasons. Okay, then we have advertisements article, and then commercial, okay, and biography. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, okay, I sent a reading resource. Okay, check it on Teams. Okay, and you have 5 minutes, actually 8 minutes, okay, to read this reading resource about the different types of articles. Okay, now what you're going to do, you have 5 minutes to read through it. This article is about what? Is about 876 words, which you only have to consume 4 to 5 minutes of your time to read through it. The remaining 3 minutes, you're going to create a graphic organizer in your notebook about the important details of each type of article. So you have 5 minutes to read and 3 minutes to create a graphic organizer in your notebook. Okay, once done, let's discuss everything you've read, all right, about this resource, about the different types of articles. So now you have a clear idea of the different types of articles. Okay, so now you have discussed with your classmates also about the different types of articles. Next is let us try to apply what we've learned, which is to look at these 4 pictures, okay, that appears in your screen, okay, and identify what type of article are these. Okay, so let's start with the first to the left. Okay, apparently this article is about the UAE's Hope probe. Will be the first of 3 missions to arrive at Mars this month. Okay. All right. Okay. So what do you think? What type of article is this? Yes, Leo? That's correct. Yes, this is a news article. And we all know CNN is known for what? Delivering news, providing us facts and information about the recent happenings in the world, right? What about the second one? Lila, can you please take a look at the second one and tell us what are the features of this article? And from there, let's arrive at what type of article is this. So this is all about what? Product, yes, what the product is. What is the product? About water, yes. And what you can see down this article, this water comes in different flavors also, right? Mainly the paragraph talks about what this water is all about, right? So yes, so what do you think? What type of article is this? Mm-hmm. Review. Does it review the product? No. Yes. Jason, why do you think is this type of article? Advertisement. That's correct. Yes. This is a commercial article or advertisement article. That's correct. Very good. All right. Next one is already we've mentioned this in the beginning of our slide. Now, this is a review article. If you see a text that talks about a specific topic or a specific product, and they share with you the experience, their opinions, their insights about it, it's most likely that it is a review article. Okay. The next one, everybody is somebody. What is this? I think this one is easy. Yes. Tanya, what type of article is it? It's a news article also, right? Okay, very good. Very good, class. So now we're able to identify the different types of articles. Very good. Okay, now let's move on. What do you think are the features of an article? Of course, each and every one of us have noticed already that there should be a title. Okay, so we're not just writing a title, we are creating an eye-catching title. Okay, an eye-catching title because what we use this to attract the reader's attention and suggest the theme of the article. Okay, so every one of us, always the first thing that we look at is the title. And then we come to think about it. Is this something that I would be interested reading? So that's why creating an eye-catching title is really important. Okay, so let's take a look at the first example here. Staff well-being planning pack. For me, as the audience, as an employee, as a staff member of the school, and we all know how stressful it can be in different work environments, I am most likely interested in this topic because I'm very curious about how can I monitor my well-being. This is the planning pack, so I would really definitely engage myself to reading that. Then here we have another title, UAE citizenship for expats, right? So here, as an expatriate here in the UAE, okay, and this title is very direct, very direct. It almost feels like it's talking to you directly, right? You are an expatriate and you can avail a citizenship. Okay, so then I would be interested in that. I would look at what? The introduction also. The next thing that I will read is the further elaboration of the title itself. So I look at the introduction. Okay, so it's something that's really full of content. It's really an interesting content to look at. So the introduction defines the topic to be covered and keeps your reader's attention. Okay, the third part or the third feature is the main body. Main body, it can be 3 to 5 paragraphs depending on the article that you're writing. Okay, and this is mainly where the topic is further developed in detail. So what about UAE citizenship? What are the perks? How do I avail? Who is eligible to become citizens of the UAE, for example? So these are the things. Then lastly, always, it's very important to have a conclusion to summarize everything, your final opinion or your recommendation or your comment about on the topic that you have covered. Sometimes one way to conclude also is to leave a statement talking about what can the readers expect in the future. Okay, it leaves them creating an imagination about how this article could end. Okay, so these are the parts or the features of an article. First, altogether, we have title, eye-catching title, an introduction, The main body and the conclusion. So far, class, do you have any questions about the things that we have discussed so far? So 2 things, the types of article and then the features of an article. Any question? Sure. So are you guys ready for a quiz? Yes, we will have a writing task. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes to review everything that we have covered so far. And then we will start with a writing activity, if that is the case, that you guys don't have any question. All right. Well, that was my lesson, my demo lesson. The topic was about article. So as you can see, the structure of how I created the lesson started with a hook. Okay, a hook can be a question that allows your students to think critically also. Okay, so it can be a question, it can be a short activity, not more than 3 minutes. Okay, because it has to be that quick because you only have 45 minutes to deliver a lesson, for example. So at least 3 minutes to make sure that your students are hooked, or you capture your students' attention from the very beginning of your lesson. Then we proceed with introducing the topic, introducing the learning objectives, and make sure your students are well aware, and take note of their learning objectives for the day. That's really important. So ask them to always write it in the notebook, and then the rest is about the notes about the topic. So then we also have certain activities, especially if you're teaching English, you always have to what? You always have to at least utilize and use the different 4 skills: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. So after introducing the topic, I shared a reading resource to my students. So that's a reading task for them to enhance their literacy also. After that, we had a discussion for speaking. Okay, I did not further discuss about it because I don't have the actual students with me, although it would be lovely to have them on board, and then we can have further information and discussion about it. After that, right, what happened is that I also ask the students, right, to identify the different types. So it's like an assessment already. And then at the latter part, we were able to also achieve the second learning objective, which is to identify the features of an article. I was not able to share the last part of the presentation, which is to have a writing activity. Now, what you notice, I was able to cover those 4 skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Okay. Every lesson about English should cover those 4 skills at least. Okay, because that's really important that we enhance these skills for them to learn better about the English language. Okay, and then plenary, I was not able to do that, but plenary is mainly to recap everything about the lesson and to make sure that your students, or to measure what your students understood or have the knowledge that they have acquired throughout the lesson. Okay, so plenary can be 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, it can be through questions, or it's sort of a short activity where you will see what the students have learned. The end goal is to know and understand what your students have learned in your lesson for today. So these are mainly the important elements of delivering a lesson. I hope you learned something today. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments about the lesson, the demo lesson that I delivered, please feel free to comment down below. And thank you all. And please click the subscribe button, and I would be glad to share more of my experience and my knowledge about delivering lessons in English. Thank you.